Hey there everyone, so I have a question for you. How many times have you gone to the grocery store or supermarket with the intent of only buying a few items, but you end up walking out with double the amount of items that you were planning on buying? How many times did you intend to only be there for 15 minutes, but you were there longer and you ended up spending more money than you had planned on? How many times did you see something in the aisles that looked so appetizing or made you think, I could use that, and you end up putting that in your cart when that was not your plan in the beginning? Well, today I've got a little bit of good news for you. I have come up with 5 particular tips that are very easy to follow and make it very simple to stick to not only your budget, but also stick to your intended items, as well as save you time and stress and just get in and out of the grocery store much faster while sticking to your goals for health and fitness pursuits. These are 5 very simple tips to follow, and here they are. So first and foremost, have a list. Write down exactly what it is that you need in your fridge, in your freezer, in your pantry, in your cupboard, whatever it is. Make sure you go through everything before you go to the grocery store or supermarket and write down specifically what it is you need and stick to that list. If you have that list written out in front of you, that gives you a very concrete object to follow and keeps your focus right there on the list, knowing these are the only items I need. I do not need anything else. Stick to this, nothing else. And if they don't have a certain item, then you just make a plan to come back either the next day or another day. Ask the staff when they're going to get the next shipment of it in, and that way you can catch up on that item. Number 2, and this is something I like to do for myself especially, have a snack before going. It is so easy when we go to the supermarket or grocery store or any place that has food, and if we are hungry, we immediately get sucked into the temptations of wanting to eat something really quick, something that might be sweet, something that might be satisfying to our taste buds, but normally those items are not the best foods that we need for our nutrition. They're not going to have a lot of vitamins or minerals that our bodies could use for optimal nutrition. They're just going to be loaded with carbs, most likely salt and sugar, and probably fat as well. But if you have a snack and you feel full, you will feel less temptation to want to eat any of those freebies that they tend to have throughout the aisles, as well as see anything on the aisles that looks rather appetizing. You just want to throw it in because you want to have a snack either in the car or as soon as you get home. So have a snack before you go to the store so that way you feel satiated. Number 3, work the perimeter. Generally speaking, in most grocery stores and supermarkets, working the perimeter of the store is going to give you the bare essentials of what it is you need to be walking out of those stores with. For instance, my supermarket, when I walk right in, I'm right there in the produce section, so I have my pick of fruits and vegetables right there for me to have my fill of. And then just going right around, I go right into the bakery and the deli section. Now, yes, with the bakery, yes, they will have some baked goods. If you enjoy bread such as baguettes and you know how to track them properly, you can, of course, include those. But then heading towards the back, again, that's where the deli as well as the seafood meats are going to be, so I can get my salmon from there. And then towards the back, you've got all of your beef and pork and chicken right back there. So that's all my primary protein sources right back there. Still walking around the back wall, I make my way down towards dairy, where I get my Greek yogurt from. And then from there, I get either regular milk or oat milk, almond milk, hemp milk, soy milk, whatever you would prefer. And then there's eggs right there. And then that's essentially the biggest portion of my grocery list is essentially all those items that I can find right around the perimeter. And chances are you will find the items that you need right around the perimeter of your store as well. Which brings me then to number 4. Avoid the aisles in the center as much as possible. They tend to fill those aisles with a lot of those flashy or trendy new food items that are really not the most nutritious foods for you. And they just want you to come right on in, see something that's going to pique your interest, and then put that in your cart to get a little bit more money out of you. But it's best to avoid those aisles as much as you can. Now, there are a few exceptions. I want to point them out right here. Some exceptions for the aisles, and you want to be very specific about which aisles you go into. For me, some exceptions that I include would be bread. Like if I don't want bread from the bakery around the perimeter, but I want, say, packaged loaves of bread from brands that I trust, I would find the bread aisle and get the loaf of bread from there. Nuts, like they tend to be packaged and in the aisles. So if you like to have like your pecans, your walnuts, pistachios, peanuts, what have you, they tend to be packaged in an aisle, so you can go in the aisle for that. Spices. We gotta put flavor into our food, right? So it's perfectly legitimate to go into the spice aisle to get whatever spices you might need to refill your cupboards. Frozen items. If you like to have frozen vegetables or fruits with dinner, you can go into the freezer aisle to get those items. If you enjoy foods from different cultures and your supermarket has an ethnic foods aisle, you can feel free to browse through that aisle, but again, make sure you check the labels, check the nutrition, see if it's going to fit your lifestyle or the goals that you're going for, and feel free just to put some variety in your food with ethnic foods. And then finally, if your grocery store or supermarket is selling the protein powder that you enjoy, chances are that's in an aisle and not around the perimeter, so you can go down the aisle to grab that specifically and then get out of the aisles as quickly as possible. And then finally, my fifth tip is buy in bulk if possible. If you have something like a Sam's Club, a Costco, or a store that tends to sell food items in bulk, there's a good chance that selling those food items is going to cost you less money per unit. Therefore, you get to save a little bit more money that way. So that way you can load up on particularly like your meats. If they are selling meats where you're going to have more volume for less money, that's a great way just to stock up your fridge and freezers and save yourself a couple dollars in the process. Same thing if it goes along with, like, say, fresh fruits or fresh vegetables, and it's going to give you more for your dollar. Go with that as well. So feel free to use any of those bulk or warehouse stores to your benefit to save money on your food. So those are my top 5 tips when it comes to getting in and out of the grocery store. Essentially, that's my way of calling it the supermarket suite, because you're going in, you grab what you need, and you get out. And that way you're spending less time in the grocery store or supermarket. You're not being pulled in by temptation. You save a few dollars in the process, and you're sticking to your goals that you set for yourself. So I hope you guys enjoyed these tips today. I will see you next time.